and we must improve their effectiveness and our own through closer partnering. And this means we must plan together, live together, operate together, and take advantage of each other's strengths as we go forward. And we'll put more emphasis in ISAF on every part of that. Integrating our headquarters, physically co-locating in our units, and sharing ownership of the problem. We also need to address shortfalls in the capacity of governance and the ability of the Afghan government to provide rule of law. There's also an issue with predatory corruption by some officials or warlords who are not in official position but seem to have the ability, sometimes sanctioned by existing conditions, to do that. We must focus our resources and prioritize in those areas where the population is most threatened. We don't have enough forces to do everything everywhere at once. So this has to be prioritized and phased over time. And as you know, concepts that I've outlined here aren't new, but if we implement them aggressively and effectively, it can be revolutionary in our effectiveness. And then finally, we must show resolve. Uncertainty disheartens our allies, emboldens our foe. A villager asked me not long back whether we intended to remain in his village and provide security, to which I confidently promised him, of course we would. And he looked at me and nodded his head. He says, okay, but you didn't stay last time. Okay, Afghanistan is hard, so why bother? It's a long way away. It's not our business. Well, as we know, in many ways, 9/11 brought us here to the latest interaction. And transnational terrorist threats absolutely remain. And I believe that the loss of stability in Afghanistan brings huge risks that transnational terrorists like al-Qaeda will operate from inside Afghanistan again. I also believe that the stakes are high for Afghanistan and for the region. An unstable Afghanistan not only affects what happens inside its borders, but absolutely will affect its neighbors in a negative way. I believe Afghanistan in many ways is one of the keys to stability in South Asia. I also believe a state that can provide its own security is important to all international security, certainly to Britain's security, America's security, and our entire international partnership. And then finally, I would throw out that the Afghan people are worth bothering about. And I believe they deserve that. In conclusion, I'd like to highlight that I am exceptionally proud to serve in ISAF. In my office, I've got a picture of a British battle group. And they're led by Lieutenant Colonel Gus Fair, and he's an old comrade I worked with in Iraq for a long time. And he's with his soldiers. I had the opportunity to speak to his soldiers when I visited them during operations in Spin Majid this summer in the Helmand River Valley. And I keep that picture because I remember the moment, because the professionalism, competence, and sheer courage of those young men, and whose eyes, and they were bloodshot with fatigue, I looked, was extraordinary. Whenever I come to London, I like to run through the city, and I particularly enjoy the statues that you've erected to heroes. I hope you erect one to that generation. I think they've earned it. Thank you.